Meanwhile, in Ukraine, the danger zone is very real. This past weekend, the Russians shot a bunch of missiles, killing foreign fighters and destroying weapon shipments at a Ukrainian base. These were soldiers who had come from all over to volunteer to take up arms with the Ukrainian army. Now up to 180 of them have reportedly been wounded or killed. This is very real. These are very high stakes. Did these young fighters get in over their heads? And why would anyone want to volunteer in a war zone? Here with me now, retired U.S. Marine Corps bomb tech, Fox News contributor, and my friend Joey Jones. Welcome back to the show, Joey.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So do you have friends who have talked about going over, people who are veterans, who are no longer enlisted? Have they talked about going over to fight and give the Russians the business end of their American arm?
The couple of group texts I'm in are with mostly Marines who have seen the worst that Afghanistan had to offer. There are two types of people, two types of foreigners that go to Ukraine right now. There are civilians and veterans. Of the foreign fighters in that battalion you referenced, most are civilians, which means they don't have any training and they have to be trained before they can be effective. The best thing they can do is be logistical support for the Ukrainians who know the home field advantage and the tactical maneuvers that are being commanded. But of the veterans that are going there, there's two types of veterans that go. Those that have never seen combat and those that never left it.
Oh.
And the ones that never left it, and I've got some buddies like that, they know that that's what they were good at. It's the only thing they feel they were good at, and they miss it. And I understand that. Thankfully for me, physically, I couldn't go back if I wanted to, but mentally I was able to move on past it. But for most veterans, they understand what Afghanistan was all about, and they're not in a hurry to be back in that situation with an ambiguous goal or a government that may support them one day and not the next. Maybe they see Ukraine as something a little bit different. Maybe they see
Joey's frozen up a little. That's okay. I'll be playing the part of Joey Jones here. Joey, you're so brave. Thank you. I am.
Yeah. Well,
okay, you're back,
you.
Joey, and I'm very grateful for that. So, what do you think when you watch the events of this week unfold? And I talked to a member of parliament in Ukraine a few segments ago, and we were talking about the UK report that the Russian army is 2 weeks away from collapse. Do you believe that?
I don't think that's something you strategize for. I mean, you're taking a snapshot of their current state and saying, oh, they can only sustain this for 2 weeks. But that's because that's what they have there. They haven't pushed anything else in. The problem here is you're trying to play a guessing game with human beings. You're trying to find reason with human leaders that have been unreasonable. And so you're looking at the effort Russia has committed to this. That'll sustain for 2 weeks, according to their assessment. Doesn't mean they don't commit more. It doesn't mean the 40,000 Syrians don't come across the border. That doesn't mean that China doesn't do something to help them end it and end it quickly because they assess that ending it quickly is the least messy way to do it. Those are the unknowns that we have to look at. The problem is I hear a very smart military expert tell me in one breath that Russia's on the brink of destruction, and then an equally smart military expert in the next breath say, well, they're just holding back and they could win this at any moment. And the truth is they both could be right because we're really relying on third-party sourced information, human intelligence from someone like Vladimir Putin that we weren't able to even assess if he was going to go into the country until he was ready to.
Yes, that's absolutely true. But then again, you had people projecting rational decisions on an irrational person, which is always very futile. You know, we have about 10 seconds. How do you bring peace to Ukraine, Joey?
How do you bring peace to Ukraine? I mean, you know, we have people on this network that would say the best thing Ukraine could do is, in a way, surrender so that more people don't die. And we have people on this network, and I'm one of them, that says I respect and appreciate their fight. As long as Ukrainians are willing to fight, it's not up to us to bring peace in Ukraine.
All right. Well said. Joey Jones, thank you so much, my dear.